If you saw my last video, then you know we are going to be starting a new series for the month of March. I'm going to walk you through where you can create your own journal to be used as an art journal, a diary, a scrapbook, something just to flip through and look at and enjoy your creation, or to give as a gift. If you already have a spiral notebook or a composition book around the house, pause the video now, go grab it, and let's get started with prepping our base. I created this one that's not complete, but I'm going to flip through it and let you see some of the things we're going to be doing to make our composition book into a journal. This is just a standard Dollar Tree composition book with really thin pages. It is 100 sheets, 200 pages. So what it means is these are stitched together with thread. It is 100 sheets, 200 pages because it is back and front. It's counting back and front. So basically this is 50 long sheets. So 50, when you sew it in half, it's 50 and 50. So that's 100 sheets, but counting back and front is 200 pages. I hope that makes sense. So I've taken one paper pack and used only half of it. I'm going to show you ways that you can forego the paper pack if you are not getting a paper pack. If you want to, so I use one paper pack. I use half of this. It's 48 sheets. I only have 24 sheets that I've cut up and used within this. They are duplicates. So it's two of each pattern to make the 48 sheets. So 24 separate designs repeated twice is 48. If you don't want to use a paper pack, don't have a paper pack, don't have the budget to buy one, these are usually $5 at Michael's, and they really are not paper. They are cardstock, which I don't like. I really wish they were paper because the cardstock gets really thick and bulky. But if you don't have this, don't worry. If you want to get it by the time we do the next video, that's great, but don't worry. We're not using any of that today. What you can do is some of the things that I've done in here as I flip through, I'll show you. You can use things instead of a paper pack, like old dictionary pages from old dictionaries at the thrift shop. This, I think, is a thesaurus. You can use coloring book pages. You can even use actual old book from pages from the thrift shop. This is a standard handbook for secretaries that I got. It's just got random stuff in it. You want something with kind of a yellowish page. These are more yellow that I've gotten from someone else, but you want that kind of a yellowish page. You don't want the stark white because we will use methods to take that stark bright whiteness down off the page. Unless that's your preference. If you like that, then you can keep it. But as you can see, I didn't do my cover. I didn't do any of my cover yet. Don't worry about that. Here I've used one of the dictionary pages to make a little envelope that you could journal in. I've also didn't glue it in all the way because it's a tuck spot. So if I wanted, I could take a piece of paper. I could write my journal entry, fold it up and tuck it in there so that it's not visible. But a coloring book page that I watercolored. Okay, so you don't have to have all the things. These are just the pages from the paper pack that I've covered my pages with. I've made pockets, I've made flips, I've made little hidden paper clips to clip things in. I haven't done a lot with this. I just wanted you to have something to see. Now, one thing I will say about the paper packs is there's always a part, 2 or 3, sometimes 4 pages of the paper pack that have what I call cut aparts. These make excellent journaling cards that you can journal on the back of or use on your cover if you want. But I'm going to show you how to make your own as well. Here I did a collage of papers that I've watercolored some, and some is I just left as they were. These are just papers from that paper pack, like I said. Here again, paper pack pages with the flip up for this one. This I have just made a little journal card. You could write on the back of this. That is not a pocket. That's just a place to put a paper clip. I decided not to do a pocket there. Here's another flip up. This page is just the actual paper of the composition book that I just used a bunch of marker and watered down watercolor paint and stuff and just splattered on there. We'll be learning those techniques. Here you've got double pockets. Here's a pocket. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. 1, 2, 3. Well, 3 pockets. I thought I had a 4th. It's not a 4th. So 3 pockets, and I've made some little bookmarks that you could write on the back as well from the same paper pack paper. Here's a tuck spot. You could tuck something there. Here we have a folded pocket that gives you 1 and 2. You can journal on these, write on them, and then tuck it away. I like a pretty journal. I like to write in my journal, but I like to write on the back of things and then tuck it in so that when you're flipping through, you don't see my writing. That's kind of how I like to have a journal on. That's me why. This is a pocket right here. It's one of those journaling cards that came in the paper pack that I just glued on the 3 sides. This I took and just tore. I cut a little X and then just tore. So you get the eat well, laughed often, love much on this, which is a journaling card. And then on this side, it shows the little pocket there. This I didn't make a pocket. I glued it completely down. Another blank page. Here is another flip up. It's a flip out and a flip up. So if you want, you could write all in there, or you could just write on this side where it's covered. It's up to you. Another hidden paper clip. This I made an envelope out of watercolor paper and glued it on. Here it's got a little piece of the composition paper that you could journal on, write on, and then tuck it away. A blank page there, and then the back cover. As you can see, this is really, really thick. The cardstock really bulks up. I made the mistake of gluing every 2 pages together out of the pages that I kept. Way too much. So I'm going to do even less in the one that I do with you. So if you're ready, we're going to prep our pages and get ready to do a new composition journal from scratch. Okay, so you've got your composition book, or if you're going to do a spiral notebook, you can do the same thing in a spiral notebook. A spiral notebook will be a little bit easier because you're not going to have to be as gentle when you're pulling out pages. As I said in the beginning, you know, this is 100 sheets, 200 pages, which is way too much for the kind of journal we're going to be doing. If you're not going to have any if you're going to just watercolor on these pages and that's it, you could probably keep them all. But I like a journal that has some color, some dimension, some kind of like an art journal and a diary type journal all in one. So I'm going to prep my pages. I will say this, the Dollar Tree journals have gotten really, really thin with their paper. They used to not be like this, but it seems like over the last year or so, they've gotten a little bad. They're still $1.25, but if you can find them at Walmart, which you can sometimes for like 50 cents or wherever else, the pages might be a better quality. These are not as great a quality. So And with that, your stitching is not as great a quality either. So when you're removing pages, please just be gentle, be careful, take your time. I'm going to show you how to remove pages on camera, and then I'm going to go off camera and remove mine, and then I'll show you how to start planning out your pockets, your folds, your tucks, that kind of thing as well. So I think I'm going to do less pages in this one than I have in the other one, because I tend to journal on the journaling cards and on papers that I tuck away. So I don't need actual tons and tons of pages. Plus I like to do flip ups, flip downs, flip outs and such. So I don't need all of that space, you know? So we're going to go ahead and prep for leaving in about because you got to do, and it has to be an even number because of the two sides, because when you take one side out, you'll see in a minute the other side comes out with it. So I'm gonna say 12 pages, because flip outs, flip ups, that gives me plenty of space to work on. And I know that's a lot of pages being removed out of 100 page. I get it, I understand. I didn't have a used one. Normally I'd have a used one hanging around that's already gotten pages torn out of, but I don't, so I had to get a new one. So here we go. What you want to do, what I like to do, I'll start in the beginning, and I'll tear out one page, being very careful, holding firmly so I'm not pulling the threads too much. And when you pull that first one out, the corresponding side, which is going to be the last one, is just already going to come out. Okay, and don't throw these away. We are saving our scraps. We're saving our scraps from the composition book and any coloring book pages or paper pack pages. We're saving our scraps to make our ephemera, or which is the pretty stuff. Okay, and I'm gonna tear, I think I'm gonna tear 3 and then skip a few pages. Okay, that one automatically comes out. We're gonna tear another one. We'll just tear from this side. Nice and easy, holding down on the threads so they don't feel like they're being yanked on and pop, because they will pop. I've had them do that. Okay, so we're gonna go skipping 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now I'm gonna tear out some more in the corresponding page for that. I'm just going to take my finger / fingernail to separate and find it. Should be right around here somewhere. There it is. There it is. Come on. There you go. Okay, I'm actually going to take my ruler to give me a spot to, okay, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Tear out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and in the middle. Okay, so I did end up popping it. I lost my strings. I got too ambitious, and that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I do know how to sew a binding on a journal. I will show you that another time because I'm going to glue them together, and then I'll show you that on the next video, how I end up sewing this back together so that it and if you don't have that ability and yours ends up popping like that, let me show you something that you can do, because we're going to do the cover on this one. I didn't do it on the one I showed you, but we're going to do the cover. So let me show you what you could do. If yours has popped like mine has popped and you want to salvage it, you're going to take your, you're going to take your stapler and you're going to put it into this mode where you're stapling like on a bulletin board or whatever. You're going to put something under you, let's see, what do I have that you might have? Let's see. Take an old book, coloring book, phone book, whatever you have, and you're just going to go right there in the crease there and staple. And hopefully your staple goes all the way through. Okay, and if it goes all the way through, see how mine did? It went all the way through. Okay, and then you're just going to take something to fold it down. That could be a pair of scissors. These don't open very wide, but that's okay. And you're just going to fold the prongs in. Okay, so we're not going to worry about sewing this because most of you probably don't have the needle and stuff you would need to sew if you're a beginner. So don't worry about it. So now we have that bottom part where it popped. It is now secure there. And if you want, we can put one on this end too, because as we work with it, we don't want it to get loose. You can go through and do the whole spine if you want. I'm not going to worry about it. If as I go through it, I feel like I need to do that, then I will, but I'm not going to. Oh, it didn't go all the way through. Okay. There, I think that one did. Yeah, that one did. So if you want, go ahead and do that. Pause the video and go ahead and do your spine if you have popped your spine like I have popped mine. If you're working in a spiral notebook or something 3-ring binder with notebook paper, then you're good. But if you want to go ahead down and do maybe every 1.5 inches or so, then do that. But I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I think that's sufficient. All right, now we're done. All right, so I'm gonna go and I'm going to glue the 2 pages together. I want to keep my middle the middle, so I'm gonna glue these 6 every 2, these 6 every 2. We are going to glue some of these as well. So you're going to glue them like this, where you're gluing 2 pages together, and you're going to have sheets of 2 pages glued together, because we're going to be using those for some of our flip ups and flip outs and stuff like that. So do that as well. Do maybe, I would say do at least, if you've got these 6 every 2 glued together, these 6 every 2 glued together, I'm probably going to do at least, let's see. These 2 will make 1. These 2 make 1. These 2 make 1. These 2 make 1. I'm going to do 4 sets to start out. I'll probably do more later, but to start out, I'm going to do 4 sets. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to get my glue stick. And I'm going to be using a glue stick for part of it and my liquid glue for the other part. Do what's best for you. Just know if you're using regular school glue, Elmer's glue, when you do, it does tend to make the paper crinkly, which I don't mind because you're going to cover it anyway, but I don't mind crinkly paper. But I use Fabri-Tac. It's a... I'm trying to think what the base of this is. I don't know. You do need to use it with an open window, but it dries really quick. So I prefer it. I usually use glue stick on my edges and then Fabri-Tac in the middle. So actually, what am I doing? That's the wrong way. This way. All right, so I'm going to show you on camera a couple pages, and then I'm going to go off camera and finish the rest. Okay. So we've got glue stick on the edge. I like this purple because you can see where it is and you can make sure you get your edges really good. I usually put some scrap paper under me so I can get right to the edge. Then we're gonna do Fabri-Tac everywhere else. Also, the Fabri-Tac doesn't tend to make the paper as wrinkly how much got missing. Okay, as you see, there's some glue on this edge. I just kind of wiped that off. But I want to make sure my edges get glued sufficiently. So again, I'll show you here. Get that scrap paper underneath. Make sure you push it all the way to the spine. You don't want any glue oozing out. I usually tend to flatten that a little. So we're gonna do glue stick on the edge. This purple glue stick lets you see what you're doing. And then I'm going to do Fabri-Tac on the rest. I will say the Fabri-Tac glue is kind of expensive, so Elmer's glue works for you, do it. If you want to water down your Elmer's glue a little glue and water and use a paintbrush, go for it. Whatever works for you. And then I just usually smooth it to the edge so I know that my edges are going to be sealed. That's the worst, when your edges start coming apart. Your two papers that you glue together start coming apart in the middle of you doing other things with them. And I know mine are going to the edge because it's sticking to my little magazine page. This is one of those local magazine catalog things with all the stuff to do in the area and in the state. And I just cut it down because it was bigger than this, and I just cut it down to fit. Again, we're just going to keep doing that. When I get to the center, I'm not going to glue these two together. I'm gluing these 6 and these 6 separately. My center will remain my center. Okay, so that was instantaneous for you, not for me. I just went ahead and took the ones from the previous composition book that I showed you at the beginning that I was done. I just went ahead and took a set of those pages that I glued 2 pages together because I just didn't want to take any more time. I will save all of these papers for later, but these were already glued together, so it doesn't matter. They're going to be covered, so nobody's going to know that it doesn't come from this one. I don't know if it comes across on camera, but the coloring is different, even though I got them both at the Dollar Tree. These lines are more of a blue. These have more of like a greenish blue line to it, and the page of this is more white than this. I don't know if that's coming across on camera, but anyway, it's not going to matter. So I've got my 12 2 pages together here, so I have 6 new sheets here, and then I've got my 12 on this side. So now I have my my 6 on the other side. So now I have 12 pages all together because I have every 2 together. So it's still a little wet, so be careful when I turn. So 1, 2, these are 2 pages together, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see the glue is still wet in the middle. 6, and then here's my middle. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So those are my 6 pages all glued together, every 2 pages. Now the next thing for me to do is to figure out where I want flip outs, flip ups, and flip downs, and that's where these pages come in because that's what they're going to become. So on my first page, I don't think I want any kind of a flip. However, I think on my second page, I want a flip out. So I'm going to take one of my sets, and for me, I like to cut them down like almost in half. So I usually fold like how much do I want it exposed as the flip part. So because when it flips, I don't want it flipped all the way to here. Sometimes I do, but not for this one, I don't. So I'm gonna cut a little bit off here. and maybe to this red line because I don't need that much glue. And I'm gonna show you what I mean. Right where that red line is. And then I'm gonna cut a slim little slither off of there. And then when I go to make my flip out, it's gonna get glued like that. So that'll be my flip out. And I can use one piece of my scrapbooking paper or cardstock or whatever paper pack or coloring book page or what have you to cover this whole thing. Or if I want, I can cover this one and then cover this part. I try not to cover where the flips are because it makes it tight. It won't open. I'll show you on the other one. There was one flip. Let's see, where was it? Where was that flip out? This one. It doesn't lay flat. I can lay it flat, but I can feel it fighting against it. And I did use one piece of the cardstock here, but I didn't on this edge. I used two different, so that helps. Okay, so decide if you're going, even if you're going to use the same piece, I find if you cut it here first, measure, cut, do this, leave that little very slim piece, and then cover that, you know, so anyway, I want that to be my first flip out, okay? So we're gonna go ahead, we're going to, for me, I like to glue it onto the page that way. Some people glue this way so that this part is glued. I feel glue however you want. Just figure out where you want to flip out. Maybe you don't want to flip out at all. I don't know. I'm gonna glue it on the back side. That's just what works for me. And I usually leave a little gap. I don't put it right on the seam either, so that it gives it a little more flippage. Okay. Now, if you notice composition books, they have a rounded corner. I happen to own a corner rounder. Yes, there is such a thing. If you're not part of the like crafting community, that would be weird to you. But I'm going to show you that I also made a corner template. I have a rounded corner here that I traced. I have a small slit corner. I have a bigger slit corner, and this one I haven't decided what I wanted to do, so I haven't done nothing with it. But if you don't have a corner rounder, you can take a piece of cardboard, you can take an old debit card or credit card and trace your composition book, put it behind there on the corner, because this corner is not cut. Let me show you. Put it behind there, line the top edge and the side edge up, take a pencil and trace it, cut it out, and now you have a corner rounder. So then all you have to do is line your corner up, get your pencil, trace, and cut, so that you can keep your rounded corners throughout your composition book. If you happen to have a corner rounder, then by all means use it. Okay? So either way, you should be able to keep your corners rounded throughout. All right, and I like to make sure that these are rounded as well. This one doesn't look as round, I don't know why, but I'm gonna cut that one as well. Okay. So that's my first flip out. Now I think I want to do 2 pages, so that's 1, 2, and I'm gonna do a flip up. Basically the same thing, you're just gonna do it on the upside here, okay? Doesn't matter which way. I think I'm gonna have a pretty big one. I'm gonna cut it down. And I think this time I'm just gonna cut like right here. And I'm gonna just fold a little, about a 1/2 inch lip. And then I'm going to, because the last time I did a flip up, I did it much smaller. It was like 1/2 or less than 1/2. And I'm gonna do it like that. All right, I'm gonna round my corners first though. I like to round my corners as I go because once you get the, this is not straight, I'm straightening up here. Once you start putting the cardstock on or the coloring book paper or whatever you're gonna color these pages with on, trying to go through all those layers is almost impossible. So, all right, same thing. We're gonna do like we did previously. I'm gonna glue it. On the back side, making sure I only have those 2 pages, okay? Because I've done that before too. I like to leave that little gap where the flip is, just a smidge, just a hair, like not too big. You don't want it sticking up out of your book too much. Okay, and that's gonna be my flip up. Now, side pockets like this, pockets like this. I'm gonna show you how to make one of those now. Let's skip 2 pages. I don't know why I'm skipping 2 pages, but I am. Actually, let's do it on this. This is my middle. Let's do it on here. We'll leave this one blank and then do a side pocket here. Okay, so you want to take and decide how deep do you want your side pocket. Do you want it, you know, shallow? Do you want it really, really deep? I mean, don't go too far into the spine. Leave a gap. This is as deep as it could go because I want to leave I don't want to put pressure on the spine. So fold it in because this is going to be my pocket page right here, okay? And what you're going to do is these 2 pages are now going to live together. Once you cover them, don't glue this. Once you cover this page with whatever you're going to cover it with, and then the top part of this page, because this is all that's going to show, then you're going to glue 1 and 2 down to this one, and they're going to make a page. So what I like to do is when I make a pocket like this, I like to get a paper clip and just clip those 2 together so I know that's my pocket. Okay, so these 2 together are going to make a pocket, separate pocket. We're not gluing that until after we've decorated it. Okay, now for that one where you saw the layered pocket, this one, it's 1, 2, 3 pockets layered. I'm not going to do it in this journal because I have less pages in this journal. But if you kept more pages in yours, all you're going to do is take 1, 2, 3. I mean, I guess I could. Oh, that'll be the last page though. You're going to take 3 pages and you're going to cut them down. So you're going to cut this one where you want it. Then you're going to lay it down after it's cut. You know, let's pretend it's cut. After it's cut, and then you're going to, where do I want to cut the next one? And you're going to cut that one down. I wouldn't fold it. It makes it too thick. But cut it down to where you want it. And then clip them together like we did this pocket because we don't want it glued just yet until we cover the pages. Because you have to be able to, where was it? You have to be able to get in there. I like to tuck in about a 1/2 inch over the lip so that nothing is catching. And so there's no separation. You can't feel the 2 pages glued together on the edge because my edge is covered, and I like to cover the edge, and I even covered the rest over here, and I made a tuck. Okay, so there's that. We could do a double. Let's do a double. I do have a page here that has nothing. I skipped 2 pages. We could do a double. We could do a double pocket here. Let's do that. So let's take this one and we're going to fold it in half, and we're going to make a pocket here, a double instead of a triple, just so I can show you that one. All right, so let's go ahead and cut it. I folded it. That's where it's going to be. And remember, we're not throwing away a half a sheet like this. We're going to keep, because this could be the back of a journaling card for lined writing. So keep that. All right, and we're going to take these two and paper clip them together as well. That's another pocket. So we've got one pocket, we've got a flip up, we've got a, hold on, we've got a flip out, a pocket. Actually, this is not a double, is it? It's a single pocket. I can't do a double with this, can I? If you've got the extra page, then make the double. I wasn't counting correctly. We have a flip up. Then we have a blank. Then we've got a diagonal pocket here. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pages left. What do we want to do with those? I think I would like to do the two facing each other pockets like I did in the middle, like this. Like that. Actually, I didn't do that in the middle of that one, but I would like to do that. I think. Let me see. I could do it here. Hey, 7. Can I do it here? Hold on. Yes, I can. I can do it on the back of this one, the back of this pocket. It'll be 2 pockets together, though. Let's see. We fold this one in, and that's going to be a pocket there. And we fold this one in, and that's going to be a pocket there. And that leaves me with my last page, what could be a full page, right? Right. Don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to put a pocket in a pocket, because I have a pocket on this side. I don't think I want to do a double pocket like that. All right, we're going to forgo that. All right, I have to think some more about what I want to do with these last ones. But I'm going to flip through this again. That's enough, 7. And let you see, you can do your side pocket. This was added on, so if you have blank full pages, we can add on pockets, don't worry. You can do your flip outs, okay? This is add-on. That's not something you need to do. These are blank full pages that you can make pockets, tuck spots, other belly bands, things like that. I'll show you those as the month goes on. This is a flip up. This is just a little like tuck spot. Here's a small flip up. These are your double pockets, okay? These are 2 pages together. You cover your pages. As you can see, they're not covered all the way down because you don't see in there. You're tucking things in the pocket, okay? But you don't glue them. If you're gonna do pockets, clip them together with the paper clip. Don't glue them first because we have to cover them. All right, again, here's a tuck. That can be added later. Pockets are the only things you need to be careful with. Okay, here's a double pocket here. Okay, if you're gonna do this one, you do it the same as I showed you with the this one. You're just doing 2 pages. So if you're gonna do this double pocket, you fold one that way, and then the next page gets folded the other way. I'll show you. So you would fold this one like this, okay? And then this one, come on, would get folded the opposite way, okay? But like this, so it's hidden away like that, okay? That gives you that double pocket. So go through yours, do your pockets, do your tucks, your flip, not your tucks, but your flip ups, flip outs, flip downs. You could even do a double flip. Maybe I'll do that on the last one to show you. Not a double, but a multiple flip, I guess. Double, triple, I don't know what we're calling it. But you could take 2 sets of your sheets and put them together like a hinge, and then you could do a flip, flip. So it's flip, flip, okay? Flip, flip. Let's make one. Because this will be my last page on the last page here. So cutting that down. And then we're gonna put this one with it. Actually, no, let's leave that one along. Let's leave that as the second side. All right. Trash that little slither. Okay, we're gonna make these full flips. How about that? Let's make them full flips. Okay, fold that over. Actually, no, we need to fold two. All right, fold this one over about 1 inch. I don't do a lot of measuring. Nobody has time for that. And then you're gonna make sure it's lined up on this side. Then fold this one all the way over to where that one ends, because that's your hinge. Okay. So one's gonna have a almost 2-inch fold, and one's gonna have about a 1-inch fold. Okay, the 1-inch fold one is gonna go on here, on your original journal page, and then the 2-inch fold one is gonna go on here. Okay, so it'll be flip flip. All right. So take your one with the 1-inch fold. Journal making does not have to be elegant. It should just be fun. It really should. Oh, we forgot to cut it down some. Hold on. Now I'm gonna get glue on my scissors. That's okay, they've got glue on them already. Just a slither. I don't know why, but I like my folds to be slightly, it doesn't end up being even smaller, to be honest with you. It just, I don't know what it is, but just a little slither. Same thing here. Just a little slither, okay? And then you're gonna take this one and glue it here. So take this glue. It's important to get the edges, okay? Get the edges. And glue. Leave that little slither of where the actual fold is. Line it up. That's not quite lined up, huh? You can always cut. There we go. That's lined up. Okay. So we've got fold. And if we want, we can cut a little bit on this side so that it doesn't hit the hinge, because it is hitting it. Okay, so we're going to just take the very last one, cut a slither. Sliver, not slither. Cut a sliver. Go ahead and trace your corners and do your corner rounding, or if you have a corner rounder like I do. Oh, Lord. Then use that. There. Go tuck, tuck, and now we have a double fold out. See? Fold out, fold out. You can add pockets within these as well later. We'll do that later. I do want to do a corner round here and here though. There we go. All right. So you go through your composition book, get all your pages prepped for what you want in your final results. And in our next video, we will go and cover our pages, the ones that we are going to cover. You might want to leave yours blank and just do some of the other techniques that I show you as far as covering them with coloring book pages or other things. Okay, so just go ahead and start prepping your pages. Go ahead and decide how many pages you want total in your book. Go ahead and do all of your gluing your 2 pages together. If you have thinner pages like me, or you just want that extra sturdiness and structure to your book. Also, go ahead and do your flip outs and your pockets. Just remember that pockets do not get glued yet. Flip outs can be glued ahead of time, but do not glue your pockets. Make sure you are paper clipping your pockets, because if you glue them, it's going to be harder to cover the pages. Not impossible, but much, much harder. Go ahead and round your corners. Just prep your pages. If you don't plan to use any kind of outside source to cover your pages, be prepared with some sort of markers or watercolor or acrylic paints, and I will show you how to cover your pages. I'll give you samples of ways to cover your pages without using paper to cut and glue on top like I did with this one, where you're using scrapbook paper and some other things. So just be prepared for the next video by having at least this much done that I've done in mind, because I'm going to be doing everything with you in video form so you can walk along with me. You'll be getting anywhere from 2 to 3 videos a week. For the month of March, you'll be learning some different things, some different ways. We'll be using all kinds of materials that you may already have in your house, or things you can source pretty cheaply or gather from family and friends who may be collecting that kind of stuff. So don't forget, I'm going to put the picture back on the screen so you can see some of the things that you can use. There's even more than this, but if you're a brand new beginner, fresh out the box, and you don't have the funds or don't even want to spend the money on something, go looking around your house for different things. Junk mail envelopes that you maybe have from Valentine's Day, from cards you may have gotten or even given to a loved one who lives in the house, and you still have the envelopes for that. Things like receipts, from tags from clothing or tags from things you just recently purchased. Even you can even use netting from fruits and vegetables, the netting from the avocados, the netting from the cutie oranges. You can use that. You can use scrap fabrics if you've got old shirts or jeans or whatever that you're gonna throw away or give to Goodwill anyway. You can use that in your journal. There's so many things we can do, and we probably won't even be able to hit them all in the month of March, but I want to give you some ways to create your altered composition book journal. This will be a series. It will be in a playlist. If you haven't seen the flip through of my traveling journal that I'm in a sister circle for, I will link it down below in the pinned comment. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, consider giving me a like with the thumbs up button and subscribing to the channel. And by all means, comment below. Let me know if you're following along and if you're going to make your very own altered composition book journal with me this month. Don't forget to be good to yourself, kind to others, and whatever your journey, enjoy it.